Okay, so hopefully this is a quickie one. A little while ago, I worked on my mate's ROG Flow laptop, or I guess we'll call it a laptop. It's more of a tablet PC. Anyway, the EDC cable has scored a bit of damage, and the screen is flickering. Now, I will have a look under the microscope in a minute as to what's going on with this connector here, but we have a new one, which is about 35 bucks. I'm pretty sure this is a second-hand one, and they've even marked over the serial number, so we can't see the serial number of the device this came from, but that doesn't matter. But yes, when removing and installing this, the battery was still in, and this brushed against something and did a little bit of a zap. And I can insert over the top here some microscope footage of the pins on the end of that connector, and the second one from the end appears to have been burnt out, which I think when I trace it back, it goes to one of the power connections. So anyway, we should be able to see what's going on and install this new one. In fact, I'm just going to install the new one right now. We're not going to look at the pins too much because they look nice and shiny from here. And yeah, we'll be able to get the install done. Okay, we already have this partly disassembled. So we will just pop the clips here. And takes a little bit to just do the little pop along here. And I like the fact that there's magnets on these things, because the magnets have held all the screws for me. You do have to be careful opening this up, because there is a ribbon cable in here that is still attached, and we don't want that to rip out on here. Come on. One more clip. I can't quite get to. To sit that here. There we go. Just carefully open here. Now, these have a very specific way that those cables fold, and I've probably forgotten them. So I will check my previous video where I repair this for the direction that this cable needs to fold. But I'm going to put. Whoop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this connection in first, and I'm going to leave the battery disconnected while I do this, because that's quite important. But yes, this cable goes in that connector there, and let's get a good zoomed in shot. So here, this is something I had to learn for myself. This one slides in under the bottom here. Make sure it's properly aligned before we put any force on it. That wriggles in like that. Then we have this securing clip goes over the top. That clips in much more positively than the old one. Now this one goes back onto the main board, and I'm going to check my old video for the correct way to lay this out. Okay, from here I should flip this over this way according to all of this, and then we sit into this little connector in here. Yep, oh, that's clipped in very positively. It's nice. Need my spudger tool to help fold the clip down away from the battery. And it's very springy, but it should clip down like that. Okay, that should be in good. Okay, that's all right. So we should be able to hook battery back up. We'll just double check all of this. That is the correct way to fold everything in. It's going to go down nice and flat. Whoop. Careful about how fast you do that, because yes, this cable here can rip out. So this that is the backlight cable, or maybe the backlight was flickering. So let's while the battery is disconnected, let's just flatten that out a little bit, and I hope that we haven't messed that cable up too much. And reconnect you as well. Okay. This one is always the tricky one to get in. I might need some tweezers for that one. Ribbon cables, I have to say, are not my favorite part of doing things like this. There we go. Okay, I have to grab this a little bit further back. There we go, we're in now. We're in and up to the black line, and then I can fold down with a thumb. Okay, so that is connected, the line lines up. That fold should fold correctly. Before we do that, we need to connect battery up, which this clips down, and then that little clip slides along that. Took me an embarrassingly large amount of time to work out how that little connector works. And zoom in just to give you a quick look. This connector here, so this little piece here actually slides back like that, and then you lift it off. So that should be good. We should be connected. Should be able to do that. Before I snap everything together, I'm going to do a test. Right, we're going to push the power button here. Hopefully that fires it up, and then we'll give the screen a bit of a dust off. Picked up a little bit of dust from things. Okay, I think we need to push and hold for fault. There we go. I see a screen. I see something come up on screen. Okay. Looks a little dim, but we'll see what happens. Okay, should be all right. Screen looks good. It's still on minimum brightness. We'll work on that, but it's not flickering, which is good. So we'll see what happens. Okay, on reboot, we did have some of the brightness issue that was still flickering, and it was still behaving a bit weirdly, but I went right down to minimum, went right back up to maximum. Seems to be behaving okay now. So maybe there's some level of calibration that I don't fully understand going on there. But yes, that didn't work before, but since we've changed the EDC cable, it definitely made a difference. So that has helped, but it may still not be the whole problem. But I'm happy for the moment that I can clip this back together and put the screws in it. And then we'll give it a good long test run and see if the problem re-emerges. Alright, for reassembly, I'm going to stick a piece of paper under here just to stop scratching the screen. There are 4 screws to go into this. 2 of them are underneath this thing. There is an M-SATA NVMe in there as well that we need to do a backup on. But we need some tiny little hex drivers for this. Not hex, Torx. The star-shaped ones, as people call them. And a really tiny one. I think that one's the one. And that is a hex bit, not a Torx bit. Hard to tell from this distance. That is the Torx bits there. Tiny little Torx bit, that's the one we want. Take our driver. It's important with these not to over tighten stuff. You stick on the magnet. Where are my tweezers? Take some tweezers here. Now the long ones go in the corner. And the corner being right here, which will require tweezers to put them in this time of morning. Let's piss that off out of the way. Tweezer in that corner. These just need to go till you feel a natural stop point. They don't need to be super tight. You will strip things out. Oh, I can get in with my fingers on that one. Lefty to the rescue today. For context, I have multiple sclerosis and dexterity varies day to day. Once upon a time I used to fix hearing aids for a living, and not an option anymore. Now these screws could be more difficult to get in. We may need to put this on the stand and change our camera angle and put these 2 screws in. There we go. Put the magnet on here, then we'll magnet the keyboard back on and make sure everything else still works. Then we'll have a play around with it and see if we have properly cured the issue, or if it re-emerges and the EDC cable is not the issue. Now this is the problem with these screws. These are so close to the magnets that getting them in the hole is actually surprisingly difficult. Could make a joke there, but I won't. Alright, 4 screws installed. Is it still alive? It still is. Cool, that's good. Okay, we'll move on to playing with this. The keyboard, clip on here. Alright, flip you up that way. Okay. Now, for privacy's sake, I won't show you full on the screen, but the brightness issue has returned actually. Something's weird with it, but I'm not entirely sure. Maybe this is a fluoro backlit LCD and the fluoros are a bit funny. It is capable of doing it, I just don't know how.